Oh, dear. Oh no. Huh? What? Where? How? Huh? How? Oh! Hello? Why? What? What's that? Why is... Oh, this is not good. It's a really bad situation to be in. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to cover something that we neglected to cover in one of our other tutorials. And what is that, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. It's animating morphs, animatable morphs, exporting animatable morphs from DAZ and importing them into iClone, specifically for vehicles or props. It's a bit different compared to exporting and importing morphs for characters, so it does warrant a tutorial. It should have been in the other tutorial. Whose fault is that? Anyways, let's jump right in. Jump right in. Okay, jumping over into DAZ, we've got this fine truck, and if I click on the door using I'm just using this activate tool. You can just use this pointy clicky, I don't know what they call it, node selection tool. Let's just do that. So if I use that and I select the door and go to parameters tab, you see that it has this nice little slider in there. Not every object will have that, but if they do, you can take advantage of it. So it's got a nice little slider that's open and closed. If it doesn't have a slider, you can still animate that object and do exactly what we're about to do. So, you know, let's just say this did not have a slider. I would just actually just manually open it. Aha! Which you can also do inside iClone, but it is a lot handier to have a nice little slider inside iClone because the controls for this door get buried in the animation options. So I want the slider. How do I get it? First, we want to export this base model. So I'm going to go to File, Export. I'm going to export it as Autodesk FBX, and I'm going to overwrite one I already saved out. Truck base, saving in the FBX options. Most of these will already be selected, and they're fine. No hidden figures, props, locks, limits, morphs, and then over in output options, embed textures, merge clothing to figure, blah, blah, blah. Allow degraded skinning, allow degraded scaling. A lot of these won't affect the vehicle. They're fine to leave on. We're just going to export as a FBX 2012 or 2011 binary. Accept. Now, I'm going to export another one. Yes. Click the door. Open it. Now, File, Export. We're going to call this one Truck Door Open. Save that. Same settings. Accept. Great. Cool. Now we've got one of each. Here's the weird thing, though. We're going to open the door open version first. So I just went to File, Open, and I found my door open version, or whatever it is you're exporting, wheel turning, a mirror bending. Click Open. Don't need to click animation. Adjust material is fine. Hit OK. I'll speed this up. Okay. Now we've got our truck with our door open. We're going to export it, but we're not sending it over into DAZ yet. We want to export as an OBJ. And I think a lot of these settings will be selected, and I believe it's good to uncheck them. So we just want merge opacity to diffuse textures. Honestly, I think we can uncheck all of these. Leave the axis at Y up, and just be aware of where you're saving it to so that you can find it easily. So I'm going to copy that. Okay. It already exists. I'm going to copy over it. All right. Now we open our normal truck. So any others, before we do that, so any other things, like if we had a version of with just the hood open, you don't want multiple morphs open at the same time, or else they'll both animate at the same time and you won't have control over them individually. So if we had one of this, we would also import it here separately, export it as an OBJ separately. So now we're going to jump over it and grab our base truck. Open. Same settings. Boop. Speed this up. Okay, we've got our base truck. Great. Now what? So over here and on your right hand side under modify, you scroll down and you'll find your morph list. We've got nothing in there. Well, let's fix that. Click add, and let's find let's find our door open. So truck door open, that was the OBJ that we exported initially just a couple of minutes ago. Click open and pray it works. All right, so now we see this little thing popped up over here in our morph list. Let's click on that. Oh, ooh, okay. So now we don't have a slider or anything like that, but that's fine. This is all we need. This is all we're looking for. So again, anything else you need to export that out separately, then add it to your base model here over in your morph list. So we're going to just be happy with just the door open, and we're going to now export to DAZ as iClone content. So again, these settings are fine. Export geometry, export all, textures are fine, and I'm going to hit OK. So actually I'm going to change this to defaults. I had it set up to go into a different folder. Hit OK. Defaults should just be your default iClone folder for custom stuff. All right, now I'm going to jump over into iClone. So here in iClone, I have pulled my truck in by going over to set and then going to custom, and then I did a search for truck, and it pulled up a bunch of trucks because I exported a bunch of different things. So I found my base truck. Actually, that's a lie. This is a different truck. Such a liar. Let's see what this truck base, that's what we're looking for. This looks like it. So I don't know if it lets you, yeah, cool. So open truck base. We won't want the right one or else it won't work. So cool. Now we've exported it from 3D Exchange and we brought it into iClone. And if we go to the animation tab over here and we look at Morph Animator, there's nothing in there. And you might be confused. You're like, but what did we do in 3D Exchange? Don't worry. There's one more step. So with your vehicle selected, let's click Morph Creator. Seems tedious, but once you get a hang of it, it's pretty quick and kind of handy. Gives you quick access to specific animation aspects of. So here's the deal. Because we added that morph inside 3D Exchange and attached it to the vehicle. When I go head over to Morph Creator with the truck, it sees it and it says, morphs are detected in this prop. Processing auto conversion for morph list? Question mark. Yes, that sounds awesome. Boom. So opens the truck. We don't even need to do any kind of import business with the morphs. It's just right there. Oh, how about that? So here's the catch. You're wondering, well, why can't I just do it like I did a figure? And I'll show you why. So if I go to, just like we did with the figure, I hit the plus sign, go to create, and I go to bring in truck door open. Let's see. Let's try this OBJ. It'll probably make a liar out of me. Hit OK. What? Yep. So here's what we brought in by importing 3D Exchange. Here's what I just brought in, which I dig. I think this could be used for something. But, yep. Well, that's why you don't do that. All right. So let's keep both of these. I like these. So what we'll do is, I think you have to select them both. No, I don't think you need to have anything selected necessarily. You can just say update morph to iClone. So should send both of these back. We can just jaunt on over to iClone. Wait a minute. Cool. So truck looks normal. But if we go to Morph Animator now, what do we have? Bada bing. We've got door. We've got garbage maker. The garbage maker. I love it. So the reason this is handy, I'll show you, is because you still have access, because we've imported this through 3D Exchange. Like if we didn't do all that morph business, and we just went to over here into the animation tab and went to edit animation layer, it will give you access to those objects, but you have to really dig down and find. So door R, window. Let's just try this. I don't know if that's it. Oh, that's the other door. So that's good. So I guess you just select. Cool. So that's not terrible. You can still access it, but it is a lot slower. And if we close this and then we open it back up, sometimes it closes all these down. So you can go to the animation tab. No, okay, it's still open. Change that. Anyways, now I'm rambling. So you can still access this stuff. However, going to Morph Animator and just having access to these sliders is pretty handy. So you could just go about your business, animate some stuff, and open. Let's go a little further. Let's do a little something with this. Let's go a few frames. Blah. Blah. So I think it's pretty handy, and again, you don't have to have a morph. Let's still go back over in here. You don't have to have this slider in DAZ to do it. You could still create a similar morph by exporting. Let's just say, let's just grab this. Let's bend it up. Now, if we export this the same way we did everything else, just as a single model, export it from 3D Exchange as an OBJ, and then bring that back in and import it as, oh, look at this. I think this is even separate. Nice. This is a great truck. I love it. I got to do something with this. So I hope that was helpful. I'm not going to ramble on anymore, but whoa, woo.
Malfunction.
That's it. That's about it, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and I hope we covered everything well. Tried to cover it quickly, get to the point, you know, get to the crux of the tech. Until next time. Here's how I should have started it. I should have started like this.
Hello, everybody. Have you ever wanted to animate a door on a truck or a tire with merely a slider? Well, I'm here to show you exactly how to do that. Hello? Peekaboo. Wee.